Okay, in this podcast devoted to the second part or second discussion element of Simone de Beauvoir's Woman is Other from the Second Sex, I wanted to just do some riffs on specific parts of the text for the next assignment, which I'll go over in a second. So I just want to draw your attention to this category of the other. So this is a philosophical concept which is crucial to modern thinking. It animates, most of the discussions that we have, and increasingly so, I might add. So it says here the category of the other is as primordial as consciousness itself. Big claim there. In the most primitive societies, in the most ancient mythologies, one finds the expression of a duality, that of the self and the other. This was duality was not originally attached to the division of the sexes, right? She goes on to say, and then finally says at the bottom there that otherness is a fundamental category of human thought. Okay? So you want to keep that in mind, right? That this is the big claim that she's making, that otherness is a fundamental category. And then she's going to see otherness specifically in terms of this idea of gender. But what I want you to think about is whether you agree with this idea that otherness is a fundamental category of human thought. Now, she goes on to say that this is basically an antagonistic exercise, and that there's a reciprocity between the two, a mutuality that's going on. So the antagonistic aspect, that might, put you off a little bit. It doesn't have to be constructed as an antagonistic relationship. It can be a dialogical relationship. The whole point is that truth or reality is not located within one isolated individual self, but is in a reciprocal negotiation between two entities at the very least, right? So it's a very social idea, but at the same time, at least in de Beauvoir's conception, it's a social idea that is, carries conflict within it. So there's a give and take to it. There's a dialectical aspect to the self and to the other, right? Which we can play both roles when we're thinking about it. We can play the idea of the self as well as the other. So keep this part of the text in mind as you move on to your assignment for tonight.